where have you been? I've little time to...
I found a wounded man by the docks. He...
Already making the rounds? That's the pen...
Thank you, nurse. What can I...
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet...
Thank you.
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Well...
I would like to ask if... And Mr.
I gave him a sedative.
What kind?
Well, you accepted the job from...
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows...
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has...
Apologies, I've only just met him the once.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon, and the most...
Thank you, nurse. Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research. It's locked, all right. This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin. The flower's dying. It needs water. William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now. If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
I'm not one to make wait, Doctor. I have issues to attend.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis. Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted.
Sorry. There's nothing.
Some of the patients won't last the night without them.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody. Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. This key will surely grant me access to the basement. Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful. These skulls feed from corpses in the husks of animals. And afterlife. It's locked. Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look at... into this. Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner. The chest was originally open to perform a puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Signs of internal bleeding. Tippett has made an egregious error. be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
Good evening, sir.
I've already heard about you.
That's quite a...
You can call me Milton. I like to speak.
I'm not sure I understand.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a...
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during...
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. Any...
I'd like to see...
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. And I thought last summer's epidemic was difficult.
Good evening, sir. I'm...
Reed, yes, I've been informed.
Does my arrival inconvenience...
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please...
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without...
I know we've never met before, but I...
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed.
There is no need for such animosity, but...
That is one point we could agree on, and that is precise...
Since your tenure in this hospital is long...
Let's just say I'm tired of the careless...
Carelessness?
We're here to save lives. The people...
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in...
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have...
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive.
And what exactly is that?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern...
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those...
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this...
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as...
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. Thank you.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, Doctor.
Dr. Reed.
Thank you.
I am Thoreau Strickland, Doctor...
Please, could you tell me...
I'm a great admirer of your...
What made you choose...
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific...
This epidemic may be the century's...
I based my technique on...
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and...
As long as you're cautious and methodical,
You're not the first one to warn me. But I am...
What can you tell me?
Well, it has always been an honor.
You seem quite optimistic.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about...
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe.
Do you want me to play the...
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you...
I see. Well, give me... Goodbye, Doctor.
As for me, what a blundering idiot. Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Callaghan fellow.
It's one of them! Leech spotted! Watch out!
Good evening.
And good evening.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded.
with the influenza and all that's going on?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to
So you believe it's just a question?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Tell me more about your willingness.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe...
What is it you really want?
Fair question. I want nothing but to...
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological...
Tell me, Mr. Fiddick.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an
But why would he hide such crucial
Because he is a proud father. Ashamed of put...
Goodbye, Doc.
I will not let you down.
Good evening, sir.
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind?
I'm Harvey Fiddick.
Are you satisfied with...
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time.
I won't lie to you about it.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed?
In other circumstances, you would be right. Tell me about yourself.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's...
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is, I disagreed about wooden nails.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey.
My wife died because of me.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's...
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat.
Tell me more about the...
1915. I was in the army.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many...
I would like to say that she didn't suffer.
How are your children?
They were smaller then. The only...
Goodbye.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me...
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
It may seem strange, but your words have brought me some comfort here.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time.
I'm not some doe-eyed student, Edgar.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what